Namaste everyone, this is Dr. Pratibha KS, Head Department of Biotechnology at Keli Society's S. Nizlingappa College. I'm also working as NSS Program Officer at college. And even I'm a life skills trainer and yoga practitioner. Today I'm before you to present a lecture talk on soft skills, that is Mrudu Kaushalya UG level 4th semester personality development paper. Before going to personality development program, I'll be discussing with you about life skills. I welcome you to my channel Pratibha with Biotechnology. Let's get started with today's presentation on life skills. I hope definitely you are going to enjoy this particular session. If you have not yet subscribed yet, kindly subscribe and share this video to your friends and needy people. If you have a spark within you with great desire to do good, you can become a transformer or healer. Think about this. Thank you. Do you know the top 10 life skills recommended by the World Health Organization, that is WHO? If yes, that's fine. If no, not an issue. I'm here to share those 10 life skills. Is that a good idea to know before you learn and develop your personality in your day-to-day life? Yes. Okay. Now let us understand the definition of life skills. What do you mean by life skills? Living cells are the abilities for adaptive and positive behavior that enable individuals to deal effectively with demands and challenges of everyday life. Okay, please have a look about the definition of the life skills. Again, what do you mean by life skills here? Life skills or maybe living skills are the abilities for adaptive and positive behavior that enable individuals to deal effectively with the demands and challenges of everyday life. Okay, this is the definition given by WHO, that is World Health Organization. Okay, in this definition, adaptive ability refers to the flexibility of an individual to adopt any situation or circumstances. Okay, the next keyword I've highlighted here, positive behavior. Positive behavior in this context reflects the attitude of an individual who keeps a vision to move forward by accepting the challenges and demands and finding solutions in a positive way. Keep in your mind, you need to find a solution in a positive way. Every whatever the problem comes, challenges comes, no, you need to face. Then the next keyword here, dealing effectively. Dealing effectively means the methods an individual adopts to effectively manage these demands and challenges. Okay. Next keyword, demand and challenges of everyday life. As in everyday people encounter many issues, right? They may face so many challenges or demands in their life. For example, missing a bus or catching an auto while late to office, or deciding what to make for breakfast, what to make for dinner, or where to go, what to do, missing a job, or deciding about the life future concept, many more, right? So realizing the need for life skills training, okay, youth across the world, various organizations like WHO, that is World Health Organization, United Nations Children's Emergency Fund, that is UNICEF, and several other national and international organizations have included life skills as a part of their agenda. And also they are giving many motivational talk regarding this life skills. I hope you understood now about the definition of life skills. Okay. So now let us go through here. What are those life skills? Okay. What are the life skills you need to keep in your mind? Let me list the life skills here. That is decision making, self-awareness, empathy, coping with emotions, coping with stress, interpersonal relationship, effective communication, critical creative thinking, critical thinking, problem solving skills, decision making skills. So these are the 10 different life skills given by World Health Organization. I hope I'm making myself clear to you. Okay. My opening thoughts is that the top 10 life skills recommended by World Health Organization, that is WHO, are essential skills for all individuals to face the challenges of life and to maintain mental equilibrium. Balancing everything is very, very important. You need to balance your body and mind. That is very important. All right. These life skills have to be implemented or imbibed in every child or adolescent during the educational period in schools and colleges. Okay, even parents, teachers, and all the concerned should join hands in this particular life skills activity. Now, let us understand these skills. What are these skills? Okay, here I'm listed again the top 10 life skills recommended by WHO. Okay, now let's start with the first life skills, that is problem solving. Okay, the individual should know the steps in problem solving. Okay, if they are unable to understand the problem, we the parents and we the elders, we the teacher, social concerned person, we need to teach the youngsters what is this problem solving or problem solving skills. That is understanding the nature of the problem, its onset, factors which aggravate the problem, okay, and different solutions and how to choose the best. And we need to make sure we to the youngsters that they should not consider the problem as a problem. They should imagine the problem as a challenging situation. First we should make all the use to accept the problem. Once they accept the problem, that will not a problem. Most of the time what happens, whenever problem comes, they will not accept. If they keep on go on rejecting, what happens, that will become a small problem, will become into a larger problem. That's why first we should teach all the youngsters, first they should accept the problem as a challenging situation, or they should accept the problem as a challenge. Then they can think and find the solution. And we need to tell them always that you be the solution, you should not be a problem, try to find out the solution. Okay, a problem is an undesirable situation, right, that is difficult for an individual to change. It will have some degree of difficulty to change or achieve something. If something is easy to change, it's not really a problem, right? So difficult only we are going to say problem. Let us accept the difficult situation, let us accept the difficult problem as a challenge, let us conquer. Instead of being warrior, let us become a warrior to overcome from that, right? Problem solving is the mechanism of change. When you have a problem, problem solving is how you could change the situation from what is now to what is the solution, right? So we need to teach all our youth that how to solve the problem. How to solve the problem? First they can identify the problem, then they can define the problem, then they can develop strategy to fix the problem, then they can organize the knowledge of the problem, right? Then we should make sure to understand them. They should be able to figure out the resources available at users disposal. Okay, and one should also monitor one's progress, and they should be able to evaluate the solution for accuracy. Okay, so one has to go through all this type of problem solving skills or maybe a cycle, then we can go for solving this particular problem. I hope you understood about this, right? So problem solving skills, as I mentioned here, identify the problem, define the problem, develop a strategy to fix the problem, organize the knowledge of the problem, figure out the resources available at users disposal, monitors one progress, Evaluate the solution for accuracy. Okay, so these are the some of the problem solving cycle. One can think about that. And also to overcome from all this problem, we can also go for brainstorming session, hypothesis testing, lateral thinking, then proof. How to solve that problem? One has to think. Then reduction, then research, root cause analysis, trial and error method. So by adopting all these techniques, one can overcome from all the kind of problems. Okay, in future classes, I'll be explaining in detail. Let me go for the introduction of all the life skills. I hope I'm making myself clear to you. Now, the next life skills I've taken here is the decision making. Okay, before taking a decision, one has to list the pros and cons, loss and the gain, the risk involved. Okay, see, before doing any work, you should not do all the work without any kind of decision. So you must imbibe, okay, the decision making skills. One need not hesitate to consult the appropriate people, because training is very important. Once you train your mind, that will follow you. That's why we can also approach some of the appropriate people before taking any kind of the decision. But ultimately, decision is yours. You need to decide all that, right? We all make decisions of varying importance every day. All right. An understanding of what decision making is helps in producing better decisions when accompanied with the few effective techniques. So, what you need to understand here first, you need to understand what is decision making. Then you need to understand the kinds of decisions. Then try to understand the components of decision making. Okay, then you can also think about what are the different approaches to decision making. Okay, so when you go for any kind of decision making, what happens, there are so many decisions will be there. Okay, so now let's start the kinds of decision. When you go for the kinds of the decision, you may come across with decisions whether are decisions which are contingent decisions may come. Okay, so in the next session, I'll be discussing in detail about what are all these kinds of decision. Just I'm going to brief you this. What is decision whether? This decision whether is like yes or no, either or decision that must be made before we proceed with the selection of an alternative, right? For example, should I buy a new TV or not? Should I travel this summer or not? Decisions whether are made by weighing pros and cons of each alternatives. Okay, and the second one here, decisions which. These decisions involve a choice of one or more alternative from among a set of possibilities. For example, which dress to buy, either the one with the red color or the one with the blue color, right? Next, do I need to visit my sister in the summer or mother in the winter? Okay, so that kind will comes under the decision switch. Then contingent decisions, these are the decisions that have been made but put on hold. Okay, some conditions are met. For example, I have decided to buy that car if I can get it for the right price. Okay, then I have decided to write that article if I could get enough time for it in my schedule. So these are some of the different kinds of decisions one has to come out from all that, and they should be able to take a firm decision. Okay, next one is which one? That is creative thinking. Please recall just what do you mean by this creative thinking. Creative thinking here, one should be innovative and creative. Okay, explore new ideas and methods. One has to think in a very novel way. One has to think very hatke wala. One has to think very unique way. Okay, that is nothing but the creative thinking. Creative thinking is generating novel, yet appropriate solutions to problems of life, art, science, or any other domain. It is integrating existing knowledge in different ways. Okay, creative thinking is an inborn quality present in everyone. Only thing is we need to realize that we have a creative thinking, okay, thinking skills. But most of the time we will not realize that I have that particular skill. Our Swami Vivekananda has already told power is within you. Only thing is we need to realize and we need to explore that one. Okay, and consistent practice on everything, you will be able to empower on that particular concept. So you must empower with all the different varieties of the knowledge. And this creativity or creative thinkingness skill that can be learnt, practiced, and developed using proven techniques. Okay, by using some of the techniques you can create these particular creative thinking. And even this is an inborn quality, but still it can be practiced. When you practice, when you learn, when you do the consistency work on that particular concept, you will be able to explore in creative thinking. Okay, knowledge and information are the basis for creativity. So you need to enhance your knowledge and you need to gather more information in and around wherever you are there. Okay, and this creative thinking which helps people to overcome from so many issues, to move out of their normal problem solving mode, than to enable them to consider a wide range of alternatives and to improve productivity and quality of work. This creative thinking is very, very important. Okay, when you go through this creative thinking, there are types of creative thinking. Okay, that may be combinational or exploratory, then transformational. Okay, so what is this combinational? New combinations of familiar ideas. For example, the variations in classical music. Then exploratory here, generation of new ideas by the exploration of a structured concept. For example, better use of materials for road surfacing. Okay, that is like exploratory. Then transformational, here transformation of some dimensions of the structure so that new structures can be generated. Okay, I hope you are able to understand this creative thinking skills. Here in this slide, you can see some approaches involved in creative thinking skills. Okay, so what are those? Looking for many possible answers rather than one. Okay, please practice all these things, whatever I'm dealing right now with you. Just imagine. Then engaging in reflection by looking at the problem or situation again to overcome from that. Okay, then making mistakes. When you do mistakes, what happens? You are going to learn so many things. But one thing you must keep in your mind, that same mistakes you should not repeat again and again. Go for the doing new mistakes so that you will learn new concept. Through making mistakes also, you are able to understand so many concepts and you can get rid of those particular mistakes, and you'll be know getting an idea how to come out from that particular issues. Learning from what has not worked as well as what you did. Okay, so these are the some of the approaches you can apply for the creative thinking skills. Now let us go to the next skill, that is critical thinking. Here, one has to learn to evaluate and critically look at an issue, information, situation, or requirement or recommendations made by others. Okay, one should not blindly accept or get carried away by other statements or pressures. This is very, very important in your day to day life. You must learn this particular art or maybe a skill. Okay, critical thinking refers to thinking and judging for oneself based on the facts and not believing anything blindly. Okay, critical thinking is not answering the questions. I'll repeat, critical thinking is not answering the questions, it is questioning the answers. Okay, when one learns to question the answers and takes the journey of exploration towards arriving at the true nature of things, then what happens? Critical thinking becomes operational. Okay, with critical thinking, it is very important to rely on facts or factual thing to understand reality and connect to it, to solve problems for decision making without yielding to assumptions, emotional pulls, then tactics and other fallacies. Okay, so you can overcome from all these things when you create or when you imbibe some of the critical thinking skills. Okay, what are the critical thinking strategies? Like you should be rationality, then self-awareness, honesty, open-mindedness, discipline, judgment. Okay, so these are some of the critical thinking strategies you need to follow. Then coming to the characteristics of critical thinkers. Okay, here critical thinkers characteristic like active, not passive. Okay, skeptical, non-egoistical view, then understand the logical connection between ideas, then recognize assumptions. So all these characteristics of critical thinkers you need to adopt in your day-to-day life. Okay, next one is self-awareness. Okay, now we'll move to the next life skills, that is self-awareness. Just imagine, what is the self-awareness? Self-awareness is about having a clear perception of who we are and our thoughts, our beliefs, our motivation and emotions. Okay, self-awareness, hope you're able to understand here, it is very necessary to have an insight into self. Okay, that is within us. We need to introspect about ourselves, one's capabilities and limitations. One's means ours, not others. Okay, one's strengths and weakness. Appropriate self-esteem should be present in this particular self-awareness. Both inferiority and superiority feelings about self are harmful. So we need to come out from all this kind of inferiority and superiority feelings to come up in our life. Okay, hope you're able to understand this self-awareness. What is self-awareness? In short, self-awareness is about having a clear perception of who we are, our thoughts, our beliefs, motivation, and our emotions. Okay, and how do we react to the situational emotions, or with the public, or with the or with the friends, or with the classmates, or with the teacher, or with the parents, or with elders, youngsters. Everything matters here. Okay, any person who has a reasonably good self-awareness will understand the strengths and limitations of self and live in harmony with nature and society without harming others. Okay, the term self-awareness looks very simple and easy to practice, but it is a vast area to explore, dwell with, and learn. It is an ability of someone to identify themselves as separate from the environment they are in. Okay, to be self-aware is to look at ourselves objectively and identify what we are thinking actually and feeling, and the reason for thinking or feeling so. And in this particular case of the self-awareness, one has to introspect themselves about this particular self-awareness. Okay, so when you want to understand about yourself, you need to go for this kind of two column, that is real self, what I am currently. Okay, another one, ideal self, what I want to be. Okay, when you question yourself like this, then you are able to understand about the self awareness. Okay, this self awareness which empowers us and makes us to be very confident who we are, and it makes us to be very proactive instead of reactive. Okay, you should not react always, you should respond. Okay, otherwise this self awareness which keeps you in a proactive state, and this self awareness makes us to be genuinely happy instead of uh, begging that particular happiness. And you can have deeper and holistic experiences when you have a self awareness about yourself. And it also increase ability to identify and modify one's thoughts, emotions, and actions. Finally, this self awareness improves and heightens one's positivity and outlook in life. Okay, so that is about self awareness. In future video, I'll be able to explain in detail about self awareness. Okay, now let's move on to the next life skill, that is, what is that? Empathy. Okay, hope you're able to understand this empathy. What is this empathy? One should understand others views, experiences, and expressions with sympathy. Okay, one should put himself in other shoes and react. Okay, without putting ourselves in others view, we should not supposed to react or act on any kind of issues, right? Empathy is the capacity to share and understand others person's state of mind or emotion. There are several definitions and explanations on empathy. Okay, to quote some, I can discuss, share with you: understanding a problem through another person's point of view. Always we talk about only ourselves, so first we need to be in their shoes and we need to react. This empathy may be the ability to see the world through someone else's eyes. Okay, it simply implies developing the ability to imagine what someone else is thinking and feeling in a given solution. Okay, and it can also be defined as it is the ability to put oneself into another's shoes. Okay, and can also define this empathy like empathy is experiencing the outlook or emotions of another being with oneself. Okay, so that is about the empathy. What are the empathy is there? M means in, pati means feeling. Okay, we need to feel about the other person. Understanding others feeling is empathy. Understanding others emotion is the empathy. Okay, so here we can also go through. Here you can see example of that empathy, that is one can also say like, it should not have happened to you, I feel so sorry for you. Okay, then I can understand your situation, don't worry, I'm with you, I will try my best to get you through this. So these are like empathy. Okay, whereas sympathy means, sim means together or with, pati means feeling. Okay, that is sympathy means together with the feeling of others, that is nothing but ability to take part in someone else feeling or trying to calm down during the loss can often feel like an uphill battle. Okay, so that is about the empathy and sympathy. Hope you understood this one. Now the next one is interpersonal relationships or interpersonal relationship skills. Okay. In this particular case, you need to think about the other person talent. Okay, and even you need to uh, focus on your talent too, and you need to focus on others' talent too. One should develop the skills of establishing and maintaining appropriate friendly relationship with most of the persons. Okay, one should also learn skills to manage hostile and troublesome persons by keeping the required distance. It means here to effectively communicate and interact with one another, human beings need interpersonal relationship skills. Here I'm not talking only about the interpersonal skills. Here I'm talking about interpersonal relationship skills. Okay, this interpersonal relationships are like social associations, connections, or affiliations between two or more people. Okay, here these skills are individual ability to interact well with others at an individual or group level. Okay, developing good interpersonal skills enhances our success both personally and professionally. So, this is the main ethics, maybe personally or the professionally. One has to think about, one has to understand this particular interpersonal relationship skills. In short, we can say this interpersonal relationship skills as IPR. Okay, IPR skills. These IPR skills are social associations, then connections or affiliation between two or more people. And if you build a very good interpersonal relationships, if you have a very good skill about this IPR, that enhances our success. So we need to focus more on this particular interpersonal relationship skills, because this interpersonal relationship skills are fundamental and essential for any human relations. We need to focus on this much, okay? That because that decides our success actually in any field. Okay, when interpersonal relations are positive and healthy, there is a mutual growth. Okay, together they'll grow, and instead of making a being a king, they'll start making kings. It means they'll become a king makers. Social bonding will be able to build through this interpersonal relationship skills, then teamwork, then organizational growth, social and emotional well-being are also related to this particular interpersonal relationships. Okay, so this interpersonal effectiveness starts with understanding self through self-awareness, self-disclosure, trust, and personal goals, values, ethics, and self management. So, all this which comes under the interpersonal relationship skills. Okay, so you need to keep all those things in your mind to come up in your life without fail. Okay, the next skill I'm discussing with you here, that is good communication skills are effective communication skills. Okay, so you might be this, you are well versed with this particular communication skills, right? Good communication skills like verbal and non-verbal are very important in the day-to-day functioning of the individual, right? Without this verbal and non-verbal language, we cannot survive. That is very, very important in our day-to-day life to maintain a good, healthy situation. Communication of feelings and emotions is essential for mental well-being, right? I hope you accept this. Communication is the process of bringing about a common knowledge and understanding by sharing. Okay, we relate and connect to each other by talking and listening, right? Without talking and listening, we won't be able to build any type of communication skills. We share our feelings and thoughts through words and our body language, right? I hope I'm making myself clear to you here. I hope I'm able to make you understand this one, right? Communication is a process of bringing about a common knowledge and understanding by sharing. We relate and connect to each other by talking, right? And listening. These talking and listening skills are very, very important. Listening is also a skill. Okay, everybody are not a good listener. If you want to be a good leader, you should be a good listener, right? We share our feelings and thoughts through words and our body languages. All living creatures communicate by one or the other means. The human communication has the highest form of evolution, that we communicate through words, action, pictures, writing, email, or charts, etc. It means we can communicate with the other person through verbal or non-verbal language or forms. Two common elements which are present in every communication exchange are the sender and the receiver. Okay. In this effective communication, we need to think about both this sender and a receiver. Both sender and receiver are very important component in the communication skills for the effectiveness. The sender is the one who sends the message, right? Usually sender initiates the communication, whereas the receiver is the individual to whom the message is sent. Okay. Here, now let us understand some of the effective communication skills. If you want to be a good leader, if you want to be a very good speaker, okay, if you want to be a very good public speaker, you must have a very good effective communication skills. Communication is the foundation for living activities on the earth, right? It's mandatory. One has to build that one. Okay. It is not inborn. In our day-to-day life, you are going to learn all these concepts. Okay. Communication can be verbal and non-verbal. And also, for the effective communication skills, our behaviors also matters a lot. Then expressions, facial expression, hand movement, okay, actions, everything matters a lot. Effective communication enables us to pass information to other people and to understand. Okay, in later classes, I'll be dealing why communication skills are important, how does communication help, and in which way. And then also I'll deal with how to improve communication skills to become a good public speaker. Okay. Then for a communication to be effective, we need to also think about two-way communication. Two-way communication is preferred. Okay. Then communicator should be clear about the topic and the language what the person is going to discuss with the other person. That is very, very important. Okay. Language skill is also one has to imbibe. Then listeners should be attentive and active. Okay. So one speaker or the person who is be addressing, no, that person should judge properly about whether the audience are where they are listening or whether they are attentive or active or not. One has to just they should realize that one. Okay. The next skill I'm dealing here is that management of stress, or I can also recall that as coping with stress. Okay. So what is this management of stress? Appropriate and healthy methods of managing one's stress go a long way in the prevention of physical and mental disorders. You need to get rid of that particular stress. Okay. Nowadays, we started with the training sessions, like many sessions like management of stress. But I request you, instead of saying management of stress, you need to get rid of stress. We should not go for managing that one. We should just cope. We should cope with that particular stress. Okay. Stress. Do you know what is the stress? Stress is a state of mind in which we constantly feel we have more to do than we can. Okay. That you need to come out from that. You should get rid of that one. For example, most students are usually stressed with the thought of coping with the syllabus and their performance in the exam. Nowadays, that has become a huge stress. You must learn how to come out of that particular stress. Okay, you should not keep on thinking, managing that syllabus. It's okay. Take a pause, take some more time, leave that all studies and watch nature, watch some very good movies. What you like now, kindly do that one. That time you'll be able to come out from that particular stress. I must say here, instead of management, I'll just next time I'll avoid this management of stress. Better you use the terminology coping with the stress. Okay, stress is fact of everyday life. Many people consider stress to be something that happens to them. An event such as injury, job loss, anything happens, immediately they'll be under stress. I told you, no, always you should become a warrior, not a warrior. And every problem you need to take that as a challenging situation. Okay, you accept the challenge, then you think about the solution, how to solve that problem. Okay, in the beginning only, if you think like a problem, what you think you become. That's why don't take that particular problem situation as a problem. Instead, accept that as a challenge. You don't know how to solve that problem, but still you think that as a challenge. Okay, avoid using the terminology a word like problem. Okay, then that time what happens, you're going to get rid of the stress. Some think that stress is what happens to our body, mind and behavior in response to an event, while stress does involve events and our responses to them, our thoughts about the situation in which we find ourselves is critical. That critical condition, what makes us very stressful condition. Okay, so how to cope with this particular stress? If you want to come out from that particular stress, you need to be relaxed. For the relaxed condition, you need to do meditation. Or just meditation is not like you need to do some bending and all that yoga asanas like that. Meditation is just keep your backbone, spinal cord erect and sit quietly in some place for 5 to 10 minutes. Enough. Just observe your breath, inhale and exhale. That is enough. That you do that for 5 to 10 minutes, your body, mind will be totally relaxed. Okay. So it means whenever stress will be there, you put for your body a red signal. Okay, put a curfew in your body system so that that should not think anything, just that should relax body and mind. Then healthy food is also very important. Okay, then healthy sleep. Okay, you need to sleep in such a way that somebody comes also, you should not come to know. You need to sleep in such way that time you'll be able to come out from the stress. And do regular exercise. This exercise really which makes you a great personality that empowers so many things. Okay, so please focus on daily exercise for minimum 20 to 30 minutes. If you can't do any exercise, just do sit-ups for 14 times. Enough. 14 times or 21 times or 41 times. Just do sit-ups. Sit-ups means buski, right? Sit-ups, you do sit-ups for 21 times or 11 times. Enough. Then spending quality of time with family also, which will make you free from the stress. And talking to friends and family over phone, that also which make you relief from any kind of the stress. And whenever anything goes wrong, please be here and now. That is very, very important. When something happens to us, we automatically evaluate the situation mentally, right? We decide whether it is threatening to us, how do we need to deal with the situation, and what skills we can use. Okay, don't go for all such any kind of the thinking. Just relax your body and mind. Sit in a position for 5 to 10 minutes. Keep your backbone erect and you can be able to relax and you can get rid of that particular stress. Okay. Now, here we are with the last life skills. Okay. Which is that last life skills? That is coping with emotions or management. Okay, so here the appropriate and healthy methods of managing one's negative emotions go a long way in the prevention of physical and mental disorders. Okay, coping with emotions means here a change in behavior and physiological process. Okay, due to any person's action or situation, emotions. Okay, that is nothing but the coping with emotions. And always emotions we need to care much. Emotions are natural. Okay, that naturally that comes. Sometimes most of the emotions we are unable to control, and we should not control also. Okay, in very we need to think in depth about this emotions, right? As I told, these emotions are natural. It is very difficult to define, okay, this particular emotions, as there are several studies done to define them. Emotions are change in behavior and physiology of an individual which occurs as a reaction or response to a situation or a person. Okay, so we have different varieties of the emotions. The major functions of emotions is to give information to the individual about their interaction with the world. Emotions are biological as well as psychological in nature. Okay, it is an inbuilt mechanism which is important to the evolutionary survival of the individual. Okay, try to understand about the emotions here. Okay, emotions are very natural. People vary in their ability to express emotional intensity. Some people may either get angry over trivial issues or suppress their anger, and some people even may find happiness in smallest things. So it is necessary to address the difference between the intensity of emotions. Okay, so let me discuss in detail later classes about the emotions. Okay, in this emotions, one has to understand the relationship between thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Okay, in the next session, I'll be dealing with why do we need emotions, then types of emotions, then why do we need to manage or regulate emotions. Okay, all the things let us understand in the next session. Now, moving on to the different picture representations of emotions. Just recall what all these emotions, just to figure out what kind of emotion is this, and if possible make a note. First emotion, then second emotion here, then third emotion, just recall, then fourth emotion, fifth emotion, sixth one, seven, 8, 9. Navarasagalu, right? 9 emotions. So what are these 9 emotions? Okay, just go through here the different kind of 9 emotions here. Just recall the first emotion is love, laughter. The third emotion is anger. Then fourth emotion is courage. Fifth emotion is disgust. Then sixth emotion is wonder. Seventh emotion is fear. Eighth emotion is compassion or karuna. The ninth emotion is peace. Okay, so this is all about the life skills. Okay, I hope I made myself clear to you all. Now I'm going to be with you for the closing thoughts. Some important points to remember in your day-to-day life for the benefit of you, benefit for the society and to your family. Okay, you should not make your life very complex day by day. You should make your life very vibrant, energetic, enthusiastic. Okay, when you adopt all these 10 life skills in your day-to-day life, you will be very exuberant and you'll be explore yourself and you can empower with so many multi-talented skills. Okay, so here I'm giving some of the tips to you to imbibe, okay, in your day-to-day life. Be friendly and kind to all. Show love and affection to others without expecting anything in return. Okay, appreciate their good gestures, talk, and behavior. Whenever you get a chance to appreciate someone, just appreciate in a full mind. Okay, that one or the other day that will come back to you. Avoid them when they misbehave. Help them if you can. It means, if possible, whoever will be indisciplined with us, we should try to correct them in a proper disciplined way. Okay, share the resources, whatever is available with you and whatever you have received. When you share or when you become a good giver, you will be able to receive in from all the directions. Okay, as much as possible accommodate yourself to the situation. If there are any differences of opinion, that time you try to accommodate yourself. Okay, have a few common activities. Encourage good communication, which brings harmony among the family members. Okay, finally, I want to share with you 1 minute of anger weakens the immune system for 4 to 5 hours. Okay, 1 minute of laughing or laughter boosts your immune system for 24 hours. Think what you want. Okay, whether you want to become a very angry or whether you want to become a very happy person. Okay, so in this presentation, I have covered all the 10 life skills which were recommended by World Health Organization. I hope I made myself clear to you, and even I'm sure that you enjoyed my today's session on life skills. I, Dr. Pratibha KS, signing off for the day. Stay tuned with me. I'll be back with some more very interesting videos. Thank you everyone for watching this.